It is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025 at 12:05 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it is my birthday. I am 63 years old. I don't think I ever thought about being this old. Well, I never thought I would live this long anyways. So I'm grateful for that. But I can remember I have a granddaughter. Her name's Destiny, and she was raised by a bunch of adults. So she always would look at kids her age and think they were just the cutest little things because she thought she was bigger than them. Anyways, sometimes I look at people and I think, gee, they're old. And then I realize they're my age. I don't think like I'm old. I don't think I'm old. Yeah, I move around a little slower, but that has to do with having brain surgery. That's a story for another day. But I don't think I'm old. I don't think like what I think an old person thinks like. I'm still pretty tech savvy. I work in IT, so, I have to have a little bit of understanding. And I do pretty good. I can figure it out. But I just don't think of myself as an old person. And I don't think I ever will. I met this lady recently. Her name's Bonnie. And she is what I would like to be when I'm older. She's very, very pretty. But she doesn't hide the fact that she's got gray hair or anything like that. She's just beautiful. And she exudes this grace and this composure that I would like to have. I don't know if it'll ever happen. Maybe it's too late now. As far as being graceful or put together, I tend to be like the Tasmanian devil or a bull in a china closet. That's just me. I do the best I can. But I want her energy and her zest. And she was telling me about going on a trip out of the country and how excited she is to take a ferry over to this one waterfall. And I'm thinking, God, I hope I get to live like that someday. I haven't had a real vacation in many years. And I hope I get to do that someday. But, and I got off on a ramble. Anyways, I'm supposed to give somebody some wisdom, I guess. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, other than putting something out here so that someday when my kids miss me desperately because I switched cars, as Ozzy Osbourne would say, or transitioned to the other side. I don't believe that we die, as in dead and nothing more. I believe that we transition spiritually to a different place. To me, it's at the throne room with God. So, but I want my kids to remember. I want them to have, and my grandkids, and my great grandkids. I want them to have videos of their nutsy mom, grandma, great grandma, whatever they call me. I want them to have these so that they can come back and hear my voice and see that I really was here and it's not their imagination. Because sometimes I feel that way with my dad. And I know I have a picture here favorite pictures. I have couple of snippets of videos. But I would love to have something like this where I could come to YouTube and click on Musings of a Tadpole and see my dad just blathering about nothing and everything. I had an experience yesterday. I went to my dad and Linda's house to meet up with a couple that wanted to purchase the China Hutch. And they pulled up, and it was an elderly man and woman about what Dad and Linda would have been in age. And you could tell they'd been married forever. And the whole... I had to help them get this big, huge thing up in the truck. And all I know is all my ancestors and angels helped. Somehow it got up there. But I was watching this, and this man was tall like my dad was. And his hands were just a little shaky, but he still had a mind, and he could do things that might take him trying a couple of times like my dad did. But I was standing there watching him, and it reminded me so much of my dad. And he had this one tool, and I said, "Well, I really like that." And he said, "I got it at Harbor Freight." I just started cracking up, okay? That's my daddy. My daddy would call me because I lived near a Harbor Freight, and he would say, "Andy, I'm coming over with my bucket. We're going to Harbor Freight." Every time they had some bucket sale. So, anyways, it was like, and then the lady, they just both reminded me of how my dad and Linda interacted together, and it made me so grateful. Just made me feel like my dad and Linda were right here around me, and I know they are. I just missed them so much. I don't know what that has to do with my birthday. I have no wisdom to give anybody with my 63 years. I could write you a laundry list that would stretch around the globe, probably, of everything you should not do in life. Because I've done it. That's just me. I've always marched to the beat of my own drum. I guess the one thing I can say is, no matter how crazy life feels, no matter how chaotic the road ahead, or dark, or whatever the road, the next path, the next step in your journey feels, focus on God. The one thing I've done since I got sober, and I really prefer to go by that age. I'm 39 years sober, so I'd rather be 39. But the one thing I've done since the day I got sober, and this has nothing to do with church at all, has nothing to do with religiosity, it has to do with me. I have never stopped praying. I pray to God, my higher power, spirit, great spirit, whatever you want to call it. I pray every day. Even if the only prayer I can get out is what I call a bitch session with God, because he isn't doing things right in my life, or he's going way too freaking slow, I still pray. And I truly, honestly believe, whether I feel like I have faith or not, if I just keep praying, everything will be okay. And it always is. I had a sponsor that told me, turn the magnifying glass around and magnify God instead of the problem. And so that's what I try to do. And I'm finally learning that I don't have to let all the energy suckers in the world glob onto me. I don't have to do that. And I don't have to let everybody play me like a piano emotionally. I just have to remember who I am and stand in the strength of who I am. And last but not least, don't forget the children in your life. They're God's gift, and they are the greatest joy and the greatest happiness that you can ever have, even in the middle of chaos, even in the middle of the storm. So, Linda's birthday was the 6th. Mine's the 10th today. My grandson Michael's is the 12th. And I'm really happy about that. We'll celebrate his birthday this weekend. I have some parts of my life that aren't that great right now, but it's all going to work out and be okay. I have another thing that God keeps showing me a vision in my heart. He keeps giving me details. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but it's going to happen in the next year. I already know this, and I'm excited. So, I love you guys, and I'm grateful for another year around the world, sun, whatever you call it. Love you guys.